Live right now. Now it says I'm live. Okay. Hi everyone. So I am full of apologies right now. It's 10:30 at night where I am. I don't know where you guys are. I'm not even sure how many people are going to show up because this is kind of like a last minute thing and it's really late. But if you're here and you're watching live, let me know in the comments who's here and uh, why you're up right now. Why do I hear music? Do I have music playing on this? I'm not able to music. Hold on a second. Oh, it stopped. Okay, that was really weird. Um, okay, so I was having a conversation with, oh, okay, that's funny. Okay, so I was having a conversation with a couple of teachers today, and it really got me to thinking about what how other teachers can help you benefit your business. And it's really important to for me to get this out right now while I'm kind of like fired up about it and just to have this conversation. So while we are live right now, um, go ahead and just like converse with me. Okay. So what happened today, and I'm sorry if I'm calling somebody out, but um, if you think this is about you, it's not necessarily about you. But a teacher reached out to me recently and asked me for like advice on how to do things. This is a teacher I've talked to before. And I have tried to like form a friendship with this teacher, but it's always like, hey, how do you do this? Like, hey, uh, what's going on in your life? Cool. Now, can you tell me how to do this? And then I tell them, like, yeah, and ask them something. And then that teacher kind of just like goes away and never shows up again until um, they want more information on how to do things. Um, don't do that. So I went and I had another conversation with another teacher who I'm friends with, and um, we went back and forth. It's the back and forth that matters, first of all. Okay. So when you're having um, it's kind of like a mental powwow, right? Like somebody can tell you something, and I should have done this live earlier while I was even more fired up, but somebody can tell you something and how they do something, and you're like, oh, that's great. And then you run and you take off with it, and it doesn't work for you because it doesn't work for your business. My foot just hit my charger and I'm about to like throw everything down. But it won't work for you because it's not going to work for your personal circumstance, your life circumstance, your businesses. You can't just copy what another teacher is doing. So when you have these conversations with teachers, it really needs to be more along the lines of, and correct me if you totally disagree, this is my opinion, you're more than welcome to disagree with me, okay? I appreciate that. Call me out if you think I'm wrong. But it needs to be more along the lines of like, um, hey, this is, what do you think about this? And then they tell you something, and then you go back and forth. And when you go back and forth talking about something, that's where all the magic happens, and that's where the ideas happen. So that's just in a conversation. But when it comes to like, oh, like actually, oh, seeing what another teacher's doing, the same thing goes for them. So everybody has different lifestyles. Everybody has different experiences. Everybody has um, different goals and how much time they can commit and what times they can commit and what they like to do and what their skills are and where they need to focus and where they need to grow. And it's not a one size fits all kind of thing. By the way, I realized I didn't introduce myself, so I'm going to do that really quick. If you are just coming on here because you're seeing me in the group or you're seeing me somewhere else, my name is Jillian Shanahan. I guess we'll still go with that. I just recently got divorced, but I've formerly known as Jillian Shanahan. And I've been an online teacher since 2018, and I've been coaching teachers pretty much since I started. I kind of like dived in. I like dove right into the first company that I worked for, Palefish, and I said, hey, I want to by the way, I don't recommend them. They used to be good. They're not. But like, hey, I want to help other teachers. I went in, I was successful right away. I helped other teachers be successful as a mentor, asked them if I could help. And then I kind of like just kind of naturally gravitated towards helping other teachers. I have grown a Facebook group, which that, by the way, is in the comments or in the description box of this video. If you're not in our Facebook group, we're like at like 46,000 members right now. Build this awesome community of online teachers and have been coaching teachers in different capacities. So that's who I am. If you saw my pictures from earlier, I also have like a small farm with goats and pigs and a cow. The goats are really like where I'm at here. That's my love right there. I love my goats. So that's me. That's why I'm coming here to tell you this. I know from experience, I've worked with other teachers. I've been friends with other teachers. I am friends with other teachers. I do work with other teachers, and I've been doing it for years. And it really just comes down to what people are comfortable with. So when you go on, hi, I don't know who Chasing the American Dream is. I can't see who you are, but I mean, I can see your YouTube channel, but I don't know who this is, but hi. But when it really comes down to it, it's just really important to realize that what somebody else is doing, you cannot make an exact replica of in your own business and your own life. When you do your business, when you start your business, when you grow your business, when you go independent, especially, it needs to be uniquely you. It needs to be authentically yourself. So, if Brenda's watching this, it needs to be authentically Brenda. If Joanne is watching this, it needs to be authentically Joanne. If you copy what somebody else is doing, you can only copy them. First of all, you can only copy them to a certain extent of what you see or what they tell you. The idea has to be in there and fully formulated for it to actually, for it to follow through and work. If you just try to reach out to teachers to find out, what they're doing and how you can copy it, it's not going to work. I'm not saying that you can't do that. And you actually should do that. You should form a relationship with, teacher Britt. Oh, hi. Hi, Britt. Yeah, used to teach on Palefish. I can't talk. But when you lost my train of thought here, but when you, and I told you, this was not going to be like a professionally cut live or whatever. Like, you talk to me, I'll talk to you. We could talk about it. But when you form a relationship with a teacher, another teacher, I'm not saying you have to go into business together. I'm not saying you have to promote each other. I'm not saying that you have to be in any sort of formal contract or anything like that. But you're going to form friendships with teachers. And naturally, those are going to be the people that you talk to about your business because, well, they're your friends and they're also teachers. It needs to be an equal partnership when you talk about business. It needs to be give and take. The best ideas, the very best ideas are going to be from that give and take. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be talking to somebody about something and you say like, oh, I was thinking about starting, this kind of class. And then that teacher is going to come back and they're going to say something, and then you're going to say something more. It's going to spark more ideas in your head, or they're going to give you ideas. While you're doing all of that and having that conversation, they're going to be getting ideas for their own stuff too. And it's not going to be copying you. It's going to be taking what they're learning from you and what they're learning from the conversation that you guys are both having together and applying it to their own life. And right now, if you're on here, this is the time that you can I'm here, I'm yours. You can comment anything that, whether it has to do with anything or not, because I guess this is us talking together, even though we're not face to face here completely. Hello. It's good to see you on here today. Does anybody have like a teacher bestie? I know that that's usually a term used for like brick and mortar classrooms, but let me know in the comments here if you have a teacher bestie. I highly recommend finding a teacher bestie. I highly recommend finding someone that doesn't, they don't suck the life out of you. They don't suck the information out of you. They don't use you to run their own business. They don't use you for an idea bank, but it's an equal give and take. And that's the kind of relationship that you need to find with another teacher. If you're in one, we'll talk about relationships really quick. We all know what a toxic relationship is in like the dating world, or in the even in the friendship world. It works in like the teacher bestie world too, or the business world too, because there are going to be people that, you know, that are trying to kind of have like a toxic relationship with you, where they just want you to, you know, they'll either trauma dump on you, or they will it's all like me, and they never give back to you. And if you're that teacher that you're like, you're thinking about it and you're like, well, wait a second, I actually do that. It's nothing against you, but you got to turn it, like, make the active conscious, just, I can't talk right now because it's late, but make that conscious decision to be like, okay, I'm going to give back. So I'm getting a lot of good advice from this teacher, and I'm getting a lot of really beneficial things for my business from this conversation. How can I give back to this teacher? As somebody with ADHD, I think if you guys know anybody like in your personal life that has ADHD, you know that that's kind of like a natural tendency sometimes for that person to, and I guess it goes with other people too, but for them to kind of gravitate towards themselves in a conversation and relate everything back to themselves. And it it's not something they're doing on purpose. And if you're doing this, it may not be that you're doing it on purpose, but sometimes those people just have to take a step back and be like, okay, I am doing this. I'm talking a lot about Jill, talking a lot about me. I need to take a step back, ask them about themselves, see how they're doing, ask them what they're working on. Because you guys have no idea how beneficial these teacher to teacher relationships are when you have one that works and you have one that's a give and take and not a, you know, give or a take. So I see we've got a couple of people here on live. I guess now is the time here. I guess now's the time that you can ask me things. I don't come on here live very often anymore, as much as I used to. But when I get an idea from another teacher, or I help another teacher get this idea, it kind of like, it sparks this fire in me. I get super excited, and I just have to, like, I don't know, it puts me on a roll. Like, oh, that's such a good idea for you. Like, what's a good idea for me now? Like, what, you know, what can I do in my teaching business? Where is everybody in your teaching business? Are you currently working independently? Are you looking for an online teaching job? Are you working for a company? There's nothing wrong with any of those, by the way. Obviously, I started looking for a job, worked with companies, went independent. They're all good if you find yourself a good company, and as long as you can find yourself a job. So that's really what I had to say there. You guys are all really quiet. I know I came on at a very strange and unusual time, but I just really had to get that off my chest and just let you know that your teacher to teacher relationships are super, super important, and you should grow them. Don't misuse them. Don't mistreat them. You don't have to be friends with every teacher that tries to be your friend. But if something naturally progresses, you know, that's where you know that you're in a good place. Probably would have been better if I pre-recorded this because I knew what I was going to say in the moment when I scheduled it. And then I went live and everything went blank, kind of. But yeah. So anyways, I do want to wrap this up by telling you that I do have an online coaching program. It's called Teacher Boss Society. This is less than $10 a month. And the way that it works is I help you find those things that are uniquely for your business. It's almost like a teacher bestie, right? Except it's, you're not giving me advice. It's not, it's kind of the other way around. But in this Teacher Boss Society, we meet every Thursday. It's morning Eastern Standard Time at 10:30 in the morning. We meet for usually about an hour, sometimes a little bit more. And we will talk about the things that you are looking for in your business, what you're doing in your business, and how you can, like, I take the time to get to know you and to get to know you. Hi, Ann. I take the time to get to know you, to get to know your business, to get to know your goals, to really figure out like what it is that you are trying to accomplish and what it is that you don't want to get into, like your time constraints, the things that you're struggling with, what you really need to focus on next, and come up with like creative ideas that can work everybody together. So for example, one of the girls that I work with, she is an author. She's working on becoming self-published. She's a children's author. And we have figured out how to create that into her online teaching business without making it two separate things that like take away from everything. Because when you've got two separate businesses and two separate like goals here, it can really muddle things up when you're trying to focus on one. So we've, figured out how we can do that with her personal goals. I work with another girl who wants to transition into like a home-based online, or not online, but a home-based tutoring, like a traveling tutor kind of thing. Where she goes to the different people's homes and like how we can market that and how we can, transition that. See what I'm saying? Like everybody's situations are completely different. What I'm going to tell this teacher who's an author is going to be completely different than what I'm going to be telling this teacher who is doing in-person tutoring. It's going to be completely different than the person that I'm working with who is looking to teach large group classes, like very large group classes, and completely different from the person who is looking to teach one-on-one lessons. Everything, there is no set, this is the way you need to do it. Personally, for me, I'm a huge fan of subscription lessons. I think that they're amazing. I think that they're awesome. Subscription lessons give you a recurring stream of revenue, and you have, longer student retention. For some people, that's not going to work because they need they need revenue like right now. They're struggling and they need the income. So packages work better for their personal financial situation. Like we'll do packages right now and like get this taken care of. Some people, they want to work in China, not in China, but like in Chinese social media. And they want to, and please leave me comments so I'm not talking about myself. I'm better at this when I'm like talking to people. But some people want to work in China and they want to get on WeChat, but they don't have WeChat yet. So then their situation is going to be different from the person who doesn't want to work in Chinese social media. It's going to be different from the person who is already on WeChat. It's going to be different from the person who has some followers on WeChat or is on Xiaohongshu. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. And a lot of times you're going to go in and you're going to find somebody who say they're really, really good at one thing and they want to teach you that one thing. And that's totally fine. But that one thing, they convince you that like, hey, this one thing is exactly what you need for your business. This is the only way to do it. I've done it and I can teach you how to replicate my results. And they can. But the way that they do it might not fit into your lifestyle. It might not fit into what you're going to be most successful at. Some people are really good at trial lessons. Some people are really good at mass enrollments. Some people are really good at paid ads. Some people don't know what they're good at and they have to figure it out. And for a lot of people, most teachers, I'm going to be completely honest, most teachers are overwhelmed with the idea of starting this and have no idea what they're supposed to actually do. Like, it's like, okay, like I've been told that I need to create an email list and I need to make a website and I need to do a Facebook page and do ads and do WeChat and do Xiaohongshu and do Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn. And everybody's telling me all these different things. What is it? Like, where do I even start? Right. And let me know in the comments if that's you. That's a lot of people. What you really need to do at that point is to take a step back and figure it out piece by piece. You don't put a puzzle together by shaking the puzzle upside down and having all the pieces fall into place. It's one piece at a time to make the whole picture. And it's going to work the same with your business. So you're going to do one piece at a time. What is the most important thing that you need to do right now? Okay. After we do that, what excuse me, live. Why did you attempt to disconnect me? But like, what's the biggest picture here? What is our end goal? Where, and if you've done my roadmap thing that I did at the beginning of the year, you already learned how to do this, but like, and if you want me to do it again, I can do this for you again too. But you kind of like look at the end goal. What is my end goal? And what do I need to get there? Okay. So this is where I want to be. I want to be at this place, teaching this many hours, making this much money, teaching these kinds of lessons. So now I have to start here. Where do I start? Like, where is my starting place? Here's where I am. And then I needed to get to the next milestone marker. I need to get to the next milestone marker. How do I get there? You kind of reverse the process a little bit. This is having conversations with online teachers can really, really help you do this, especially if they've been through it before. If you have no idea where to start and you kind of feel like, okay, like I'm overwhelmed, and it's okay to say that, please join us in Teacher Boss Society. You guys, it's amazing. This isn't meant to be like a sales pitch. I'm going to be completely honest with you, but it would be kind of silly of me to not tell you about it because I don't usually talk about it. You'll see that I'm not like out there direct messaging people and everything. It's almost like a secret, which is kind of silly. But it is very small. It's kept small for a reason. That's why I don't market it. I really like our meetings. It's a nice time to sit down, get to know everybody, help people figure it out. So if you're seeing this, then you're probably one of the people that should join if you're here. But I'm going to wrap this up. You guys are really quiet and it's making it really hard to do it live. And that's not your fault. It's mine. But I will see you guys all later. I hope that I see some of you guys in Teacher Boss Society. If you're not already there, the link is in the description box. And if there's anything that you want, like a video on specifically for YouTube, please go ahead. Let me know in the comments. I have a couple of videos. I haven't made anything in a while, but I have a couple of videos that are on the books to be published this month. So, and one of them is about going independent, and the other one was, I forgot, I have to look. I actually have I don't know. I have multiple YouTube channels, so I have to look and see what I've got for this one because I forgot. It's late. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And I will see you guys all later. Thank you for tuning in. If you just came in here, I'm sorry. I'm leaving. Everybody was quiet. And I feel silly talking to myself. But seriously, make a teacher bestie.